Hello students, in my previous lecture I have discussed about the TTL NAND gate, and in that I have already discussed that basically there are three types of NAND gates available. First one is the open collector output, second one is the totem pole output, and third one is the three state output. So in the previous lecture I have already discussed about the open collector output TTL NAND gate. Now I am coming to discuss totem pole output and three state output. So this is the TTL NAND gate with totem pole output. So first of all, what do you mean by totem pole output? So let us first of all see the diagram. This is the diagram of the totem pole output TTL NAND gate. So basically we can say that the output impedance of a gate is normally a resistive plus a capacitive load. So the capacitive load consists of the capacitance of the output transistor, the capacitance of the fan out gates at any stray wiring capacitance. When the output changes from the low to the high state, the output transistor of the gate goes from saturation to cutoff, and the total load capacitance C charges exponentially from the low to the high voltage level with a time constant equal to RC. For the open collector gate, which we have already discussed in the previous lecture, R is the external resistor marked RL. For a typical operating value of C is equal to 15 picofarad and RL is equal to 4 kilo ohm, the propagation delay of a TTL open collector gate during the turn off time is 35 nanosecond. With an active pull up circuit replacing the passive pull up resistor RL, the propagation delay is reduced to 10 nanosecond. This is the significant reduction in the propagation delay from open collector output to totem pole output. So this configuration, as shown in the figure, is called a totem pole output because transistors Q4 sits upon Q3. That's why it is known as totem pole. The TTL gate with the totem pole output is the same as the open collector gate except for the output transistor Q4 and the diode D1. When the output Y is in the low state, Q2 and Q3 are driven into saturation as in open collector gate. The voltage in the collector of Q2 is VBE of Q3 plus VCE of Q2, that is equal to 0.7 plus 0.2, that is equal to 0.9 volt, and the output that is low. So we can say that output Y is equal to VCE of Q3, that is 0.2 volt. Transistor Q4 is cut off. Transistor Q4 is cut off because its base must be 1 VBE drop plus 1 diode drop, or 2 into 0.6, that is equal to 1.2 volt to start conducting, which it is not getting. Since the collector of Q2 is connected to the base of Q4, the latest voltage is only 0.9 volt instead of the required 1.2 volt, so Q4 is cut off. The reason for placing the diode in the circuit is to provide a diode drop in the output path and thus ensures that Q4 is cut off when Q3 is saturated. When the output changes to the high state, because one of the inputs drops to the low state, transistors Q2 and Q3 go into cutoff. However, the output remains momentarily low because the voltages across the load capacitance cannot change instantaneously. As soon as Q2 turns off, Q4 starts conducting because the base is connected to VCC through 1.6 kilo ohm resistor. Now, the current needed to charge the load capacitance causes Q4 to saturate momentarily and the output voltage rises with a time constant RC, but R is only 130 ohm plus the saturation resistance of Q4 plus the resistance of the diode, total approximately 150 ohm, and this value of R is much smaller than the passive pull-up resistance used in the open collector circuit. As a consequence, the transistor from the low to the high level is much faster. The transition from the low to the high level is much faster. The wired logic connection is not allowed with totem pole output circuits. When two totem poles are wired together with the output of one gate high and the second gate low, the excessive amount of current drawn can produce enough heat to damage the transistor in the circuit. So, this is about the TTL with totem pole output.